Shalom, ladies and gentlemen. Today, as always, we'll be talking about a weekly Torah portion, Parshas Eikev, the third chapter in the fifth book of Torah. The title of the parsha, explained by our sages, the word Eikev, it's actually the heel, the back heel. And our sages say that Moshe talks about like a minor mitzvahs, that you usually like step on those mitzvahs without heels and do not pay attention to the minor things, but they are as important. Two words in this weekly Torah portion that kind of comes to the first line, and they mentioned many times in this Torah portion and in future ones, much more, incomparably much more than in the previous books in general. Those are words to remember and not to forget. Now, memory is extremely important in our tradition. We remember everything about our history. There are no people that know their history more than Jewish people. We have museums for the memorials from Yad Vashem to the Kotel to the Western Wall, that the Yad Vashem reminds about Holocaust, and the Western Wall about the Temple. Even on a general historical level, just a couple of years ago, me and my wife, we visited Toledo, beautiful place, highly recommended. There's no Jewish signs over there. There's no functioning synagogue over there. The synagogue that it's actually called the synagogue, it's a museum of Jewish history, and most of the synagogues that were beautiful and rich synagogues until the end of the 15th century, before expulsion of Jewish people from Spain, those became churches, and then they became just places to visit. So it's unclear status, but there's no functioning synagogue, there's no community. However, the whole town, the old town of Toledo, it's full with the Jewish tourists, because we remember that this was a synagogue. And remember that the beautiful house that actually called the house of El Greca has nothing to do with El Greca, but was a house of Shmuel Levi. And the wine cellars that are presented as wine cellars in the basement of this house, so it's not a wine cellars, but the ritual pools, mikvahs, that Shmuel Levi maintained for the congregation, who was not only leader of the congregation in Toledo, but also the minister of finance in the Andalusia until the expulsion of Jewish people from Spain. We do remember. But it's not enough to remember just general global things. How to train this memory, not to forget that we will not need memorials, that we will not need monuments, but remember all the time. When we were little children, we were learning songs and poetry by heart to train our memory. Moshe Rabbeinu in this weekly Torah portion gives us another life hack. He talks about very small and minor mitzvahs. Like he lists the 7 fruits that the land of Israel is famous for. Why? Because when you eat this fruit, you remember about the land of Israel. When you eat this fruit to say a blessing and remember God. The mitzvah of blessing after the meal brought in our weekly Torah portion. When you finish to eat those tasty things from the land of Israel, you remember God. When you go to the bathroom, you come out from the bathroom, you said the blessing, remember God. Many other mitzvahs, mezuzah that is in your door. The whole point of this mitzvah, this how this mitzvah described that you will remember those words when you're leaving your home, when coming back from your home. Well, the tzitzis that we wear under our clothes, those mitzvahs described as a reminder of all the rest of the mitzvahs. We remember God, we remember who we are in small things. And when we will remember God and who we are in the small details, the sclerosis, it's nothing to worry about, not on the personal level, not on the national level. Thank you very much. Good luck. I see you next week.